I got on the train just before midnight. It was a normal suburban line I had taken many times. The carriage was half full. People were quiet, some on their phones, some asleep. About 20 minutes later, the train stopped at a small station. I looked outside, and something felt familiar. The same broken bench, the same flickering light. I didn't think much of it. Another 20 minutes passed. The train slowed again. When I looked outside, my chest tightened. It was the same station, same bench, same light. I leaned forward to read the sign, but the reflection in the glass made it hard. The reflection showed the carriage behind me, completely empty. I turned around. It wasn't. A man across from me suddenly laughed loudly, slurring his words. He kept mumbling, then got off at the next stop. The train moved again. I looked up at the route map. The same 3 stations kept lighting up over and over, like a loop. The digital clock above the door went from 12:48 a.m. back to 12:31 a.m. I stared at it, but no one else reacted. A cold draft passed through the carriage. That's when the conductor walked in. He looked normal, calm, but the sound of his ticket punch echoed too loudly. He stopped in front of me. Ticket. I handed it over. "What are you willing to leave behind?" he asked. I didn't understand. He stared, then moved on. Behind me, a woman dropped her bag loudly. She apologized. No one reacted. The train stopped again. Same station. But now, fewer people were inside. I hadn't seen anyone leave. The connecting door at the end of the carriage was now open, even though I never heard it move. The conductor walked back slowly. The ticket punch echoed longer this time. The train moved again. I looked up at the route map. There was no final station anymore. Just a blinking line with no end. I got on the train during rush hour. The coach was crowded. People stood shoulder to shoulder. It felt normal. At first, a man next to me leaned closer. "Do you feel that?" he whispered. "The walls," he said. "They feel warm." I laughed it off. The brakes screeched loudly, shaking the coach. But after a few minutes, I noticed something strange. The seat behind me felt softer, like it was slowly sinking. I moved away. The air felt heavier, warmer. The overhead fan slowed down, stopped, then started again without the power cutting. No one reacted. A faint smell spread through the coach. The man beside me quietly moved away. At the next stop, people left, but no one entered. The coach began to empty. The walls looked uneven, like they were shifting slightly. A loud thump came from the side. Someone dropped a bag. People barely reacted. I wiped the fog forming on the window. Outside, nothing. Just darkness. My reflection in the window looked delayed, moving half a second after I did. I froze. Then it matched again. I turned back. The coach was almost empty. I hadn't seen anyone leave. The seats looked curved now, like they were forming around something.
I rushed to the door and pressed the button. It didn't open. Pressed again. Nothing. The emergency handle was gone. Just a flat surface where it should be. I looked up at the coach number display. Blank. The train kept moving, but it didn't feel like this coach was part of it anymore.
I woke up when the announcement came on. The next stop is 3000. That wasn't a station name, just a number. The train slowed. A few people looked around, confused. When it stopped, I looked outside. The platform was empty. Bright lights, but something felt wrong. It looked new and old at the same time. I stepped closer to the door. The light above flickered. It steadied again. A man stepped off, curious. The doors closed behind him. He didn't come back. The train moved again. The next stop is 3100. People started whispering. At the next stop, the platform looked worse, darker, broken. Another passenger got off, didn't return. The digital display above the door skipped numbers, jumping from 3100 to 3300, then back to 3200. I stared at it. No one reacted. The train moved. A loud metallic noise echoed from the next carriage. Someone dropped something. I tried to calm myself, but something felt off. I looked around. Fewer people. I hadn't seen them leave. The next stop is 3200. My hands felt cold. When the train stopped, the platform was almost completely dark. The clock on the platform was spinning forward, too fast to read. The doors opened. No one moved. The display above the door, just numbers, increasing. The door stayed open longer this time, like it was waiting. I didn't step out. The map above the door no longer showed past stations, only future numbers, going higher. The train started moving again, and I realized it wasn't taking us anywhere. It was only taking us forward, into something that hadn't happened yet.